Of drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constand.
And when the verdicts were read, guilty on all three counts, years of pent-up emotion from Cosby's accusers was released.
And this is a victory not just for Andrea Constand, whom I consider to be the Joan of Arc in the war on rape. It is not just a victory for the Commonwealth. It is not just a victory for the 62 of us publicly known Cosby survivors whom Gloria Allred has helped give a voice. It is also a victory for womanhood, and it is a victory for all sexual assault survivors, female and male.
Very powerful. So was the verdict a watershed moment? Lisa Bloom is here. She represents Janice Dickinson, one of only 5 of the other Cosby accusers allowed to testify in trial. So let's start off with this. What was your reaction to this verdict?
I mean, elated, shocked. I honestly never thought we would see the day.
Really?
I tried to stay optimistic. You know, I've represented Janice for 3.5 years in our civil case for defamation. He fights with his, teams of lawyers from 4 or 5 law firms, thousands of lawyers every step of the way, everything, just as he did in the civil case. And so to overcome all of that, it's just astounding. I mean, Bill Cosby, one of the biggest celebrities in the world. People all over the world are talking about this case. If he can take a fall for this, anyone can.
What was Janice's reaction to this?
So I spent a lot of time with her yesterday. I think she's still in a state of shock.
Yeah.
She said, I'm still processing it. I mean, we hugged. There was a lot of emotion. She was very grateful to me. She's a very sweet, gracious person. I think it's going to take a little time.
Do you think, we're talking about a watershed moment here.
Yeah.
First trial, hung trial.
Yeah.
Then Me Too came about.
Yeah.
Do you think that was the impetus to getting this guilty verdict, or
Yes.
the 5 other women?
No question about it. Listen, I do dozens and dozens of sexual harassment and assault cases in my practice every day. And every case I do is subject to the culture that we live in. If we're in a culture where women aren't believed, it's very hard to win these cases. Now that thousands of women have spoken out and said, me too, this has happened to me too, I don't think it really shocks very many women, but I think it's enlightened a lot of men to say, oh, okay, I guess this is real. It's not just 1 or 2 women. This is an epidemic, and I'm going to start believing women.
So if this is a watershed moment, does that mean we're going to see other criminal trials? Weinstein, for instance?
Every criminal case is going to rest on its own facts and on the law, and I think prosecutors have to look very carefully at them. But I would hope that prosecutors in any case of sexual assault would say, women are being believed now. It's different. Even if they, listen, Janice on cross-examination was cross-examined about her past and other sex partners and drug issues and alcohol issues. These are the kinds of things that in the past might have disqualified her. But now I think people are recognizing it really doesn't matter. What matters is what happened to her on that night in 1982 in Lake Tahoe with Bill Cosby. All the rest of it is just noise. Slut-shaming doesn't work anymore. Women are stronger, and so I hope prosecutors will take a close look at cases with other high-profile guys.
Well, you were saying it's scary for someone to come forward, even, testify against Bill Cosby. This was scary. Do you think now, now that the legal case he has a guilty verdict, do you think there's going to be more civil cases against Bill Cosby?
Well, there's already a number of them. I have one here in California, and the judge ordered that I get to take his deposition, and he's been stalling and delaying.
So you get to interview him?
Yes, I get to take his deposition under oath. I'm going to ask him about what happened in that hotel room with Janice Dickinson back in 1982. She's got photographs of him in a patchwork robe sitting in that hotel room, talking on the phone, she says, just before he raped her. So there's no question that he was there with her in that hotel room. Why did he even call her there? He called her there supposedly to have a singing career. Turns out she's a terrible singer. She's the first to tell you that, right? He called her there, obviously, in order to have sex with her.
Listen, the release of the deposition with Cosby's own words, to what extent do you think that played a part? Because basically,
Huge.
Yeah, I mean, he basically said what he did.
Yes. So in 2005, he gave a deposition in Andrea Constand's civil case, and he admitted procuring drugs, Quaaludes, in order to have sex with women. He admitted that under oath. So kudos to Andrea Constand for bringing the case, for her lawyer for getting that question in, and she had to fight to get an answer to that question, to the AP reporter who then years later had to fight and go into court to get that deposition